6.3. Shelton will try to close his historic night on a high note. Does not fall, but still career high. 38 points for Nikyle Shelton, but Morehead State showing why they are the team to beat in the Ohio Valley Conference. Moving to 8-1 in conference play. Everybody trying to pursue Jonathan Maddox and the Eagles. For Mark Adams, I'm Lo Galindo. Thank you so much for watching.
Morehead State and Eastern Illinois. Welcome to Riverside, California for a WAC conference game between Utah Valley and California Baptist University. Steve Quist, Richie Schuler. Utah Valley unbeaten in the WAC at 5-0 early on. 9-6 lead for the homestanding Lancers of California Baptist University. And we got a tie-up.
We're seeing a back-and-forth, pretty physical game thus far, are we not?
Exactly what we expected. When you talk to both coaches, they kind of, as we mentioned earlier, before we got our new audience, they dared the other team to take threes, because neither team's a very good three-point shooting team. They also said it's going to be a physical matchup. And it was hard when we talked to the two coaches to figure out which team would be the more physical of the two.
Well, look, they're going to go inside to A.J. Braun. Good defense here in Utah Valley. An outstanding defensive team. But number 14 for California Baptist inside in the white jersey. Last time these two teams played just a couple of weeks ago, they were feeding the ball down inside to Braun, and you saw a lot of dig-ins and eventually some traps by Utah Valley. Now, just before we got the new audience, Braun had scored inside, so I'm wondering if we're going to see some more of these traps here in the near future.
Going on work there, another drop step, and dumps that one in over the UC Irvine transfer, Carter Welling, who's a 6'10" sophomore.
And that's 2 times in a row now, or 2 times here in the early going where Braun has gotten the ball and just buried his defender underneath the basket to get a shot off.
Again, he led the nation in field goal percentage last year at Wright State. Here's Welling, and Welling trying to return the favor, and a missed shot rebounded by Braun. Braun's a 54% shooter this year. And
that should count.
Yep, basket interference. And it ain't going to be any easier for Dominic Daniels Jr. than that one right there.
He's has 4, and I'm wondering, coming out of this timeout, will they guard A.J. Braun any differently to take away that post offensive play down inside for the Lancers?
Todd Phillips took over for Mark Madsen, who's now in the ACC at Cal. And Todd Phillips was on his staff, and Mark Madsen took over for Mark Pope, who went to BYU and now is at Kentucky. So good little coaching lineage there.
Definitely.
Throw it inside. Here's a touch in the paint. Turning, and that's Osiris Grady from the Wasatch Academy. 6'9" sophomore that comes up short. Musa, good assist guy, gets it to a cutting Sam Silverstein, and then that ball is turned over. Fast break opportunity here, gliding in, Dominic Nelson with a bucket. He's a good one.
Such good offense. Look, you get a stop on one end, you pass the ball up the floor, maybe one dribble for a layup. Maybe 3-4 seconds went off that shot clock.
That was the near pick 6 that we had discussed, that Coach Croy wanted to make sure it doesn't happen. That shot is missed out of the hands of the 7-foot freshman, Brady Hennig. Here's Nelson, and Nelson is fouled. Dominic Nelson had a huge effort against CBU last game in Orem. 15 points, 7 boards, a couple of blocks, 3 steals. As you look at Coach Rick Croy, 12th season, 242 wins. Took them from Division II to Division I, and they're in their 3rd year fully eligible for the postseason.
Youngest active head coach in the NCAA to reach 350 wins.
And one with the biggest guns, too, huh?
He's got some pipes, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Man, we were in his office hanging out, and I was like, he just, you know, he had that pump, you know, after you lift weights, you get that little pump. He must have it 24/7.
Nearly a steal. It's going to be a turnover, and that'll work to Utah Valley's benefit instead of being a live ball turnover. Now, Silverstein will have to inbound it. This Utah Valley team beat Cal Baptist 75-69 in Orem on January the 11th. So it wasn't too long ago, right? We're talking a little over 2 weeks ago. And the Wolverines shot 56% in the second half.
Look at that step back.
Yep. Daniels again. He's got a dozen.
Hasn't missed a shot yet. 5 for 5. He's been tied. top 10 in scoring most of the season.
At 5'10", let's get him an NBA G League contract right now. It's good enough to play there to start. Green gets it inside.
That's
and
beautiful.
Beautiful move, no doubt. That is Ethan Potter. He'll score 8 points a game off the bench. He's from Layton, Utah.
It's another big man. It's one thing I love about these two teams. You have big men on both sides. It's kind of a throwback. Today's style of college basketball, they like to be 4-round-1. They'd rather be faster. Both these teams have speed, but both of them at any given time have a guy that can go back to the basket.
Yeah. And not many teams in the WAC do, right?
Right. I mean, it's college basketball in general. Yeah. There's not a whole lot of...
Well, if you have them, you might not have them very long, right?
That's today's climate.
Potter's a 64% shooter. Rising up, left wing three. And that's Javante Johnson, grad student who came from Colorado State. And on the drive, there's a foul. California Baptist is a team that averages 73 points per game. So you're not surprised they got 16 early on, but there's not a lot of room for error because they allow 73 points per game defensively. Here's Nelson.
Last time these two teams played a couple weeks back, Utah Valley had 42 points down inside the paint. There's two right there. Oh, he missed, actually. Thought there was going to be two right there. That has been an emphasis from Coach Rick Croy in California Baptist. No lane, don't let them score inside. And they've done a fair job at that thus far.
Potter doesn't miss much at 64%, as we talked about. Silverstein turns that one over and has to go to Rick Croy's bench. He's intense. We were here for the shoot-around earlier today. He certainly kind of snapped into the coaching mode from the office where we got all the charm to let's get this thing done, let's go work. Let's not give up any of those pick sixes, which would be a bucket off of a block or a steal by the Wolverines of Utah Valley.
He talked a lot about that, right, with Utah Valley being 5th, 6th in the country in blocks per game. A lot of times that leads to fast break points. Look, there's 2 more points in the paint.
Potter ain't going to miss that time.
So that's now 6 down inside for Utah Valley. Again, 42 in their last game. It's absolute dominance.
Daniels already 12 points. Johnson, the Colorado State transfer, his career started at New Mexico, so he's been well traveled. Daniels around the pick by Braun, shook his defender and bricked the 3. That would have been pretty.
Yeah, he is human.
Now you got to get back in transition here. Nelson's a junior college kid from the state of Florida, and he misses on the reverse attempt from Polk State in Florida. Quite the find for Todd Phillips. They do well in the junior college ranks in the state of Florida. Here's Brantley Stevenson. Played at Etiwanda High School, not too far from here.
You and I called his last ever high school basketball.
The Zaire Williams game where Zaire Williams walked it off with Bronny James. And offensive rebound by Braun, and he's thrown to the ground. California Baptist leads the WAC with 12.3 offensive rebounds a game. They get one there. They've got a 4-point advantage at home against an unbeaten Utah Valley team. In the new year, where all he was doing was scoring 20-plus points. And he's a kid that spent his first 2 years not too far away at San Bernardino Valley College. What a find out of the JUCO ranks.
He's explosive, man. He can catch lobs, too.
Coleman saved that possession. Yep. Here's Braun. It's been a good little battle in the low post. Braun, and Braun missed the shot. Coleman, another offensive rebound. Again, they averaged 12 a game to lead the WAC. And there's a foul by Ethan Potter.
Look at that power from Coleman. He's a tremendous rebounder, about 8.5 a game. But he's super athletic. He's got rise with his vertical jump, and he can shoot with either hand inside. But rebounding is how you prove toughness on the basketball court.
And here's Kendall Coleman, the senior from Shreveport, Louisiana. Well, on Saturday, we have a quadruple header of college basketball on ESPN. First, it's number 9, Kentucky and Vandy. Then Cooper Flag and number 2, Duke, take on Wake Forest. Number 12, Kansas hosts number 7, Houston. And then we cap off the night with number 1, Auburn against number 6, Tennessee. I know where I'm going to be. on Saturday on the couch?
Thought you'd be working a game.
Actually, I am. I've got a Big West game.
Don't lie to the audience. I know.
I just thought about it. My assistant's not here with me tonight. On Star Wars night inside the Fowler Athletic Center. Really good crowd. Love how they put the students right there below us, but right where they can affect the game. And there's a steal. Musa, who played in the WAC at Tarleton State last year, got the takeaway.
I really like Musa's game, too. I mean, he runs the offense. He's top 3 in assists in the WAC, I believe.
Miss is there, but an offensive rebound, and Coleman puts it back.
I'm telling you, Coleman is a beast inside. 6'8", 230 or so.
They now have 3 offensive rebounds, about a quarter of where they get on any given night, and 3 second-chance points. Coleman averages 11 points, almost 9 boards a game. Here's a drive by Kylan Green, and some contact on that drive. I was going to talk about Musa because we just saw him shake a defender right there and how good he is with assists. And he had a 10-assist game last year against CBU when he was at Tarleton State. But I look down now, almost halfway home in the first half, and California Baptist does not have an assist yet in this game on 8 made field goals.
You got Dom Daniels Jr. going to town, and you have A.J. Braun get a couple buckets down inside the paint, and then a couple putbacks by Coleman.
Meantime, flip the script. Utah Valley has 5 made field goals and 5 assists.
I tell you, I mean, Todd Phillips has the Wolverines first in the WAC in field goal percentage, first in assists per game, first in rebounds per game, and first in blocks per game. So if you've got a team that can really defend and rebound, that has championship written all over it.
Grand Canyon's been the champion the last 2 years in the Western Athletic Conference, has had teams come and go. They've been really the high watermark, the consistency. But even last year, right, in the NCAA tournament, they knocked off St. Mary's and almost knocked off Alabama, who went to the Final Four. Here's Musa.
They like this dribble weave action. They spread the floor, they go 4 around 1, and they attack.
What a battle inside.
Look at it.
And Braun
telling you.
over Carter Welling and count it.
Think about it. I mean, look. How many teams in college basketball have 2 effective posts? We just saw Coleman get back-to-back putbacks. And then this is the 3rd time we've seen A.J. Braun, as you mentioned, led the nation in field goal percentage a year ago. Gets so deep inside the paint, absorbs the contact, takes the hit, and gets an and 1.
Played 3 seasons at Wright State before transferring in. He's 6'9", a senior from Dayton, Ohio, where Wright State is. And he had 16 points on 7 of 11 shooting against Utah Valley on January the 11th in a losing effort. 7-point advantage for California Baptist. They've been up as many as 8. Noah Tate's out. Here's Carter Welling. He can stretch the floor. We saw that at Irvine. Offensive rebound and a putback is not going to fall. Another offensive rebound there. A couple of them by Trevin Linhart. Utah Valley's going to get possession. 20 on the shot clock, 9:52 to go before half.
Well, both these teams shooting pretty well from the 3 right now, are they not? 2 of 4, 2 of 5.
Yep. Well, they dared each other, right? Little weave there. They get it to Toulson, who's the reigning WAC player of the week. Good spin move there on Martell Williams, and he hits a hard-earned bucket.
I mean, everybody looks at the shot. I look at that footwork, man. The pivot, the way he flipped it around. The shot fake.
Coleman on the other end, guarded by Jackson Holcomb. It's going to be a good little battle there, the high post and the low post. Screen comes high from Coleman. Musa lost the handle, got it out. Williams spots up the 3, and down she goes. But when you got time to set the feet, it's that easy, huh?
Williams is a guy that was out a couple games to start WAC play due to injury, but he's super athletic. He's a driver. You can see he complements his game with that 3-point shot.
Braun fouls Carter Welling, the Irvine transfer. That's the first on A.J. Braun. Free throws here for Carter Welling. His brother plays on this team as well, Hayden Welling. They were both at Irvine. Hayden Welling is a year older, at least as far as eligibility is concerned. He's a junior. They came over in a package deal leaving the Anteaters. And brother Hayden played in 51 games for Irvine. And Carter played all of last year. Averaged 7 points at Irvine last year.
Well, I spoke with Jason Erickson. He's the media relations guy at Utah Valley. He was really high on Carter Welling as a big man inside. I popped in the video and was like, well, not only is he muscular, he's a shot blocker, he's crafty, but he is so versatile. He's an excellent driver of the basketball at 6'10". And he'll like to face you up. He can back you down. He's a very versatile, skilled player that shoots about 34% from behind the three.
Yeah, there was a lot of talk Utah State would end up with him. Here's a missed shot. Daniels is all of a sudden gone cold. Williams with a steal. Daniels is all-WAC second team last year. Preseason all-WAC this year. Looking for the screen from Braun. Weaves through the defense. The floater missed. Coleman the offensive rebound and the putback. Oh,
they got to do something about Coleman. Isn't that his third putback? Or second putback?
It's definitely his second putback for sure. They got 16 points in the paint. They've doubled him up. And there is Dominic Nelson, the junior from Miami. He's got another bucket.
He had a career high 25 at UT Arlington not too long ago.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
That was a game they won at the buzzer, right? Jackson Holman, a game winner with 0.3 to go. That was a week ago, and there's your block. And that time it's the other Welling, Hayden Welling. And again, this is a team that averages 6 blocks a game, which is 5th in the nation.
Well, here it is. Look at Hayden Welling. It's the help side rotator in Welling. His teammate got beat off the bounce. You have help side rotation. You have the insurance policy there. And a lot of teams won't even try to block. They'll just try to take player control fouls. This team blocks shots.
Yeah, there's a steal. They do that extremely well. And then take it back. Yep, Nelson is down. Coleman grabbed it and put it up. And a timeout on the floor here as they have to attend to Dominic Nelson. He took one in the chops there. I hope the youngster from Miami, Florida is okay.
Yeah, for sure.
That'll take us to a break. Star Wars.
3 seconds later, all of America found out that you were lying, that you're actually working a game and you won't be there. So nobody trusts you anymore.
You got to chop off one of my arms for lying with the light sword that we have here.
I'll challenge you to a light sword fight.
Yeah, there have been some licensing issues. Wow, what a block by Coleman, but getting it back was Hayden Welling. There was a great drive there, a great pass, a super block.
Yeah, but that's the thing about block shots. Block shots prevent the ball from going in the hole, but it's also a fair ball for anybody to get. You still have to play defense, get the ball, and go the other way. Otherwise, it's an easy shot for somebody.
Man, Coleman has just been a beast on the offensive glass, is he not? He draws contact there.
That's what you're talking about right here. It's a great block shot. Look at
Linhart to Welling, blocked by Coleman. But Johnny on the spot was Hayden Welling. Now it's a 7-point game. Here comes Utah Valley. They have one road win. This is just their second road game in conference play, and only Tarleton State and the CBU team, the only other WAC teams that have won on the road in conference this year. 4 road wins total for Utah Valley, and we know how hard that is to get a road win. Musa missed it, and Coleman's got another offensive rebound. Boy, they have 8 offensive rebounds now, Richie.
That's insane.
Coleman has a 6th rebound. They might all be on the offensive glass. We'll have to check.
It's quite a performance because, like you said, Utah Valley, if you throw it out of bounds, California Baptist, that is, Utah Valley, best in the league in rebounding. And they've given up 8 offensive rebounds thus far.
Dominic Daniels with that turnover. It is the 3rd turnover for CBU here in the first half. Here's Welling, puts it on the floor. They wanted to take away the drive. That was one of the point of emphasis early. Carter Welling's been driving. He gets the pass from his brother. How about Hayden feeding Carter like they did probably in the backyard at Corner Canyon High School and in Draper, Utah, on a timeout on the floor.
What was great about it is they went down inside to Hayden Welling, and they did the post split.
A galaxy far, far away if you're an LA native. We're 56 miles east of downtown LA, what's known as the Inland Empire. We got our 99.1 KGGI blasting, and we're rolling here on Star Wars night. Here's a turn by Braun, and then another block shot.
Help side rotation, Hayden Welling. there to help out his teammate.
Third block, Toolson, and he just missed. But on the offensive glass, Carter Welling, and count it.
Carter Welling, he can drive it, he can shoot it, he can post up. But the putback there was beautiful because there's so much helter-skelter. Carter Welling with the shot fake. Look at the block shot by his brother Hayden Welling. Gets the block shot. And then it goes down to the other side. Carter Welling gets the offensive board. Look at the pump fake. He got two Lancer defenders up in the air and the and one.
Don't violate. Hey, don't violate. Don't violate. 13 comes to the line.
Just a great display of both defense and offense on the other end.
All right, 6-0 run. Over the last 132. 3-point advantage for CBU. Here's Martell Williams. Carter Welling with a little bump, and he's going to force a tie-up here with the possession arrow going toward Utah State. So they steal a very valuable possession away from California Baptist.
Well, I think one reason why that is after a made free throw, California Baptist will go back into a full court press. And it just changes the look. Now you're seeing on the other end, Utah Valley's on defense, and it's the same thing. Now you're having Utah Valley go full court man-to-man as they're bringing the ball up, and just you change those looks to keep the offense off balance.
Daniels in chasing mode of Lynn Hart, who's been quiet so far. Lynn Hart throws it in to Hayden Welling, looking for his brother again, but other ideas by Hennig. And it goes out of bounds. It'll stick with Utah Valley. 13 to go on the shot clock. 5:17 to go in this first half. Lynn Hart to trigger the inbound. Lynn Hart going to settle for a three. Missed it front iron. Rebounded by Hennig.
He's a terrific three-point shooter, but that stare down three with a hand in your face, I think they might have got something a little bit better with a few more seconds on that shot clock.
Utah Valley shooting 40% from three, well above their average, and that is sticking with CBU. 43% for Cal Baptist, well above their average. They're ninth in the WAC at 29% on threes, so welcome relief to see 3 of 7 go down in the early going. They've had the lead for much of this first half. And there's another block shot. That's going to be the fourth. I think Osiris Grady got a hand on that one, or maybe Wells. Hayden Welling goes to work, changes hands over Silverstein, missed it, rebounded by Hennig. Will get 3 a game.
I want to see if they'll go back to Martell Williams, number 33 here on offense. Here's ball. He plays bully ball. Yeah. They talked a lot about that in their shooter.
Well, you know, Daniels made his first 5 shots of the game. He's been 0 for 5 since. So they've kind of figured out how to defend him now, or at least they're getting lucky. That's going to be a foul. That's on Lynn Hart. That's going to be his second, team foul number 5. 3-point game after California Baptist had as big as a 9-point advantage, sitting there at 28 to 19. So the 6-0 run continuing now for over 3 minutes here for Utah Valley.
Watch Utah Valley on defense, and you'll see some switches.
Daniels high off the window, another miss. Got the offensive rebound. He's going to take it from the baseline and missed again. That's 0 for his last 7 after starting 5 for 5. Still stuck on 12 points. He got 12 really quick. This time down the floor with a 3. Utah Valley can tie. He'll go inside, though, this time. And from the right of the lane, a missed shot. That was Potter on the run out here. Daniels goes to work. Daniels gets the friendly bounce.
He shoot that with his right hand?
I think so.
It's at least his 3rd shot with his right hand. He's ambidextrous. He is a lefty.
Does that mean he can read minds?
You think ambidextrous means that you're...
At Tennessee, boy, time just goes by fast, doesn't it? It seems like we were doing that yesterday.
5 years ago, almost to the day, right before COVID. That was the last game that I think we worked together, that anybody worked together before COVID.
Yeah. Shut down the very next day. Here's a drive. That was Kylan Green. Rim protection has been solid for both teams. Williams left open for a three. Assist, Dominique Daniels Jr.
Great play. That's the great thing about pushing the ball up the floor. You're going to have open offensive players, and if you can knock down those shots, good things are going to happen. Let me just point out that both these teams, 2/3 approximately of their points have come from inside the paint. There's an emphasis for both squads to keep the paint clean. Hasn't been the case here in the first half.
So that opens up the outside, doesn't it? And that's why you've seen a team here in CBU that's 9th in the WAC at 29% on threes, sitting here at 50%.
And like you said, you've said this before. I mean, neither team is a good three-point shooting team. Utah Valley is about 32%. It's below average. California Baptist 29%. I think they all have good three-point shooting players. Just hasn't come together collectively throughout the course of the season.
Was knocked out by the Wolverines. Possession remains with California Baptist. 19 to shoot. They've now opened up quietly an 8-point advantage after it was a one-possession game. They went for quite a while without scoring. Now the drought belongs to Utah Valley, who hasn't scored in almost 4 minutes. Turnover. That was the 5th by CBU. Here's Potter, puts it on the floor, kick out, left open is Nelson for a three. That's good after the friendly fire, the head-to-head contact, and he's back in there. Long rebound there off the missed three.
So yeah, they spread the floor, get their big man inside who comes at them, set some ball screens. I mean, they're completely spreading it. Pass, cut through. Sometimes they'll run a dribble weave action. They always get their bigs involved.
8 to shoot. Musa has it, gets the screen by Hennig. Dribbling on Nelson, puts up the far and hits it. Oh, man.
That young man we saw shooting when we walked in the gym today, been shooting for 20-30 minutes.
Yeah.
And I love his game because he gets a lot of pull-up shots like that from mid-range.
First double-digit lead of the game for California Baptist and the Lancers. Trying to knock Utah Valley off the unbeaten perch in the WAC. Second meeting of the season between these two. Nelson with a mid-range in and out with 1 to go on the shot clock, and Hennig's got another rebound. It's already his 5th. Here's Daniels, puts it into another gear, drives and got it blocked big time by Dominic Nelson. Holy moly. They might get their average of 6 blocks in the first half, and then they got a little too fast on the offensive end. Huh?
They should try to hold this for a last shot. I know there's 1 to 2 seconds differential, but why give Utah Valley an opportunity to score before the end of the half? Go in the locker room with at least a 10-point lead.
5 blocks for Utah Valley in the first half. Again, they average 6 blocks a game, 5th in the nation coming in as we get deeper into the month of January. Daniels drives. Daniels finds a shot and gets it over some length right there for a bucket. That'll count if it goes, and it doesn't go. Largest lead of the game for California Baptist at 12, and that young man, first half, we'll see what he can do over the final 20 minutes of basketball. Again, Utah Valley, top dog in the WAC. They are a perfect 5-0 as we play here on January the 23rd. In the middle of the standings is California Baptist here on Star Wars night. And Utah Valley has won 4 road games on the season, 1 in conference play. That's been very hard to do in the WAC. Only 2 other teams have 1 road win. Defender flies by, 3 on the way, and the friendly bounce from the outside. That's Toulson.
Well, I think Todd Phillips' message to Utah Valley has to be, let's keep pumping the paint, but we have to do a better job of post defense on that end of the floor. They're only shooting 34% from the field throughout the course of the game, but the big thing is California Baptist is out rebounding them by 10 rebounds right now. And this is against Utah Valley, who's the best rebounding team in the WAC.
A little reach and foul. I think that's going to be on Toulson on the drive there, and it's a complete flip of the script from what happened the last time in Orem on January 11th. On the boards, Utah Valley completely annihilated California Baptist to the tune of 41-21 on those boards. Musa to inbound, and Coleman, who had 5 offensive rebounds in the first half, saves that possession.
I'm sure they've been challenged to stop this young man right here who has that right-hand floater that's so effective as a lefty.
This one shuffled off ahead to Nelson. He's a good scorer himself, and he'll get fouled on the drive there. That's on Musa. Adam Musa, a grad student from Cairo, Egypt, played for Team Egypt in 2023 at the FIBA World Cup. And again, he had a 10-assist game against CBU last year when he was a member of Tarleton State in the WAC. And that's probably when Rick Croy said, we need to call this guy up and get him in the portal and get him here to Riverside. Linhart to Welling. Welling drives on Braun. And, yep. Oh, wow. What a shot there by Carter Welling.
The finish was great, but the footwork was outstanding.
Transfer from UC Irvine, who's in the Inland Empire tonight, playing UC Riverside. They were tied in the final few seconds here. That's probably about 9 miles from where we are off the 91.
So you look at Carter Welling down inside, okay? Thought he was going to go with one pivot foot, went with the other. Goes one way, goes to the other side. Help doesn't know which way to come from.
It's a lot of calories to burn in that low post to earn that shot.
It's a hard world down inside the paint, man. Those guys get hit left and right. Never complain. Just keep going at it.
Utah Valley, you talked about 47% on field goals to lead the WAC, and they're sitting here at 38.7. Here's Braun at the line. Welling, the foul, is number 2. It's a very good free throw shooting team. California Baptist leads the WAC at the free throw line, shooting 77% as a team. The problem has been they haven't been there a lot here in this game. That was their first made field goal, and here we go again. That's 2 games you and I have done where I've jinxed a red-hot team, right, at the free throw line.
You seem to be really good at that.
They're 2 of 5, 40%. Toulson missed front iron. Gets it back, drives in, and scores the bucket. Beehive State royalty is Tanner Toulson, huh?
The legacy player.
Yeah.
2 cousins and a brother that all played at Utah Valley and played well.
Daniels missed. There's going to be a foul on the loose ball. Yeah, Tanner Toulson started his career at BYU, and then basically I think BYU is on the same kind of highway and street as in the Provo-Orem area. As you and I have been up there, we've seen that, but you see.
Yeah.
And, of course, don't forget about his dad, right, who had a 10-year pro career, 2 seasons with the Utah Jazz.
His brother played under Mark Pope at Utah Valley. His cousin Ryan is the all-time scorer at Utah Valley. And his cousin Jake was an All-American and the WAC Player of the Year before he transferred to BYU when Mark Pope left Utah Valley to be the head coach of BYU. Of course, now he's at Kentucky. All in the last, 15, 20 years?
Yep. And Toulson's the reigning WAC Player of the Year after what they got done last week, winning 2 games. Here's Williams. Williams turns, and that's more points in the paint. 24 points in the paint for CBU. Williams has 8.
Right off the flex screen. I like that. Toulson comes off the flex screen.
Grady into Toulson. He turns and count it. Foul's going to be on Brantley Stevenson.
Think about what you've seen from Tanner Toulson in the last 2 possessions. Took a 3-point shot, missed it, but got the layup on the putback. Then he goes down inside the paint off the flex screen, takes Brantley Stevenson one-on-one. He gets fouled on the way up for an and 1.
Yeah.
Another versatile player. Toulson looks small out there because there's so many giants. He's 6'5", about 200 pounds.
Well, that had to be a point of emphasis for Todd Phillips at halftime, was let's get him more touches. He only had 3 shots. He had 5 points in that first half. And now Toulson in double figures. Made free throw gives him 13. It's a 10-3 run for Utah Valley to open up the second half, and they have kept this crowd quiet here on Star Wars Night in Riverside.
Well, yeah, I like how Utah Valley, this is what they do after made free throws. They go into a 1-2-2 zone press. And then once about time it crosses half court, they're not looking to trap out of it. They just fall back into man. So that took about 9 seconds off the shot clock before they got into their offense, maybe 10 or 11 actually. And so they're kind of discombobulated.
Coleman stretched the floor, big fella. Man, this kid had a 32-point game in November against SMU, and the next night followed it up with a 15-rebound game against Fresno State. They were playing out at Palm Springs.
He's a 6'8" post shooting nearly 40% from three. How about that?
Yeah, it's a steal, a takeaway by Williams in transition, leading the break back the other way. Goes back and in here and a reach-in foul on Dominic Nelson.
And that's what he does. You see Martell Williams, he gets the steal, goes down the other end. He plays bully ball. He just backs you down and pushes you, uses his muscles, his shoulders, his chest to make you keep backing up so he can get an easy layup down inside.
Did I bully ball you at halftime with the light swords?
I think it was a pretty good battle until the kill shot at the end.
Braun got the offensive rebound but couldn't stick the second chance opportunity. Transition now for Utah Valley. Dump it inside, Holcomb. Out it goes. Leinart got his defender in the air, lays it off underneath and count it. Jackson Holcomb. That was pretty basketball right there.
It was awesome, and it's all because of Linhart's dish down inside to him. And that's just knowing your teammates. That's chemistry, knowing where they're going to be. Look at Linhart, splits defenders. Williams comes over to guard him on the help side rotation, and what? It leaves Holcomb wide open there under the basket. All he has to do is catch and finish.
You know, I didn't see the film of this game, but I read about it. I can imagine that was probably the play this time last week that won them the game over Utah Arlington. It was this man, Jackson Holcomb, the game-winning layup with 0.3 to go on, I believe, an assist.
Right.
Johnson's got 3 fouls. Would have been a Linhart assist a week ago.
I think that was a Kylan Green, I believe.
Oh, you're right.
He had the game-winning assist. Yeah, right.
I just read about it.
And it's in his hometown of Dallas. Had about 100 of his people sitting there watching.
Javante Johnson, 3-year starter at New Mexico, transferred to Colorado State, and now here at California Baptist. It's almost 6 points a game. He played for Colorado State in the NCAA tournament last year as a rotation player for the Rams when they made the field of 68. Open, 3, good. That's Dominic Nelson. Gets 15 a game with 5 boards.
The Wolverines were down 12 at the half. I mean, we're just over 4 minutes, and now they're just down 5.
Here's Braun going to work inside. They run a second defender there. Johnson has it. 10 now for Nelson. Little spin move, and they're going to turn it over. And that will take us to a break. Well, what was a double-digit lead of 12 open?
Wow.
There's no, like the salt, they'd have to get some Morton salt from the Piggly Wiggly. They got 8.8 inches of snow where he's stationed at Naval Air Station Whiting.
Well, this Utah Valley team shot 34% in the first half. Here in the second half, they are 6 of 7 for 85%, including a couple of threes. They only made 2 in the entire first half, so they've come out slinging so far.
Linhart, great bounce pass inside, but unable to finish at the rim was Jackson Holcomb. Just their second missed field goal. They're within 5 after being down 12. Here's Daniels. He's got 16. The WAC leading scorer gets to his favorite spot on the floor, missed it, and Coleman almost had a 6th offensive rebound.
I tell you, one reason why he's such an effective scorer is that first step is so explosive. He's able to get by defenders. He's not big. He's 5'10". So if a secondary defender comes, he loves that floater, and he uses his weak hand, his right hand. And so many of them tonight have just rimmed off just barely a little bit.
That was a great roll of the screen by Holcomb, and Toulson found him for the bucket.
Those two work well together.
Yeah. Simpatico, huh? Screen set by Coleman. Remember, he's knocked down a 3 already, and that one missed front iron. Better defended this time. He's way open for the one he made earlier in the half.
Trying to get the ball down inside.
Yep.
Let Potter go to work.
Ethan Potter, little drop step. Oh, man, over Braun.
That is his signature move. Oftentimes he will face up. That time he dribbles to the middle.
Oh, it's bad. Yeah, out in the Inland Empire here, and it's
such a dry climate where we live. And wind picks up with a little spark, and you never know what can happen. These catastrophes.
Wolverines on a 7-0 run. They've made 6 of their last shots. 6 of their last 7 shots. The scoring drought of more than 2 minutes here for CBU, and that compounds the problem by turning it over right here, which becomes their 7th turnover of the game. And now a chance for Utah Valley to take their first lead since the first half.
Insane 6+ minutes into the second half. They were down by 12 at the half.
Silverstein a block. Talk about a taste of their own medicine, huh?
Yeah. Utah Valley likes to block shots, but both these teams are big. Like we were saying, they're both throwbacks.
Inside Silverstein, and there's the 6th block of the game, right on their average. Here's Holcomb. He tries to go coast to coast on Magic Johnson here after the block, and that would have been a pick 6, right? What Rick Croy was talking about is like we can't give away steals and blocks that lead to easy buckets on the other end.
You know, essentially said it's simple. It's you know, don't get your shot blocked because it leads to transition points, and don't throw the ball to the other team because it leads to other points.
Musa called for that foul.
I mean, look at the stat right here. You know, Utah Valley had 25 points in the first 20 minutes, and here they are in the first 6.5. They already have 20.
And we are tied for the first time since it was 6-6.
So this is where Rick Croy has to keep his team level-headed, ensure that they're not intimidated by this. I mean, Utah Valley just took a lead on them, just stole the lead from them after they dominated the entire first half. They have to keep their head into it.
First lead for Utah Valley. CBU needs to use the force, huh? First lead since 6-4 with 17:48 to go in the first half. That's when the Wolverines last led until now.
Look at Braun just getting all the way deep down inside the paint. Just backing down, backing down, backing down.
Trying to do the little bully ball you were talking about on the run out. Silverstein got another block, takes it away. And they got a chance here. They got numbers ahead if Silverstein can push it and notice it. Musa has been awfully quiet. 2 points, only 3 assists.
Had a really good game last time. Yeah. I think 13 points.
Up and under. Wow.
Let me just point out again, he's a lefty doing that with his right hand. And this is what they've missed. Daniels had 16 points in the first half. Got to give a lot of credit to Utah Valley because they've held him to just 2 points now here in the second.
Snaps a 9-0 run. Reestablishing a lead, California Baptist University. Here's Holcomb. Got a size advantage on Silverstein. Missed it. Tapped out, though, by Potter. But he tapped it to Johnson. And they get it back to Daniels, who had a 39-point game once in his career here, which is the program high. And Daniels gets 2 more to fall. He's got 20.
You know, if we could see that again, that'd be awesome because him and A.J. Braun were just playing a 2-man game. Braun's just trying to figure out the angle where Daniels wanted to be screened, and Daniels just reads the defense. He reads the mail, and he goes the appropriate direction and uses his talent to finish.
Nelson lines up at 3. Nelson's got 13. Back to Daniels now. He scored 20 or more in 10 games this season, and this is their 19th game of the year. A mark of consistency. Nelson's done a good job on Musa. Johnson with a kick out. Silverstein back out. Daniels got his defender to fly in the air. They gotta hurry up. 2 to shoot. Silverstein missed it. Rebounded by Potter.
Push it. If I'm on Utah Valley right now, I am pushing it. Right there. Look at that. Wide open.
And Holcomb underneath got the bucket.
California Baptist a little bit out of sorts right now. They look tired out there. Both teams look really tired. But when you're in transition and you're trying to match up on defense, somebody's probably going to be open. Utah Valley did a good job of executing there.
Nice assist by Nelson, his first of the night. Back to a 2-point advantage for Utah Valley. 5-0 in the WAC.
Good pass.
Silverstein missed front iron. Tipped and kept alive. Yep. Here comes Nelson.
That's right.
And there it is.
Taking advantage of the fatigue. I think Coach Croy's got to call timeout.
That's the salt and pepper right there. Stop. Push it.
That's right.
Push it real good.
Yeah, and Utah Valley is doing just that. Coach Croy has to burn a timeout. Didn't want to because I think they're in the move forward. 1 play at a time. Work your way through it.
Another 7-0 run for Utah Valley, and they've extended a 4-point advantage, which happens to be their biggest of the game.
Lancers have to stop the bleeding here. Musa, that's outstanding there. That's good for him. They've got to get him going. He has not been a major factor offensively from scoring the ball so far, but Utah Valley has just absolutely dominated here in the second half after being down 12. That just blows my mind that they caught up and took the lead so far already in the second half.
Linhart over to Holcomb. Now to Nelson, slipping that screen. Holcomb again. Boy, they have gone to that quite a bit here, and it is paid off.
It's really good stuff right there, man.
That is 13 assists on 22 made field goals. Meantime, only 6 assists on 22 made field goals for California Baptist. Here's Musa, got the screen high from the freshman Hennig and turned it over. That's the 8th turnover for CBU. Yep, transition 3. Linhart missed it. And that is going off of Holcomb. I'll show you where they've gone to the well. I wouldn't say one too many times, maybe one too many times for Lancer fans.
I mean, he sets a ball screen and he immediately rolls. Now the help side rotation came from CBU, but they went to block the shot instead of just walling up and potentially taking a player control foul. Holcomb just so good. He just jumps in the air, readjusts, and is able to finish at the basket.
Utah Valley shoots 60% in the second half to 33% for CBU, and another miss. That percentage will go down. Might lead to a transition bucket, and Daniels got a hand on that as Nelson was gliding in.
I just feel like the win from CBU's sail has completely depleted here since Utah Valley has been taking over the lead, and they've got to find somebody else to get some offense besides Dom Daniels Jr. He was hot in the first half. They took in a big lead at halftime. He's not scoring at that level right now, and there's really nobody else that's contributing from an offensive standpoint.
Carter Welling's going to drive now, and he got fouled by Brady Hennig, one of 2 freshmen from the latest recruiting class to join CBU. And they're getting a good one next year. They signed the Lancers a 7-foot center from Damien High School in Laverne, which is just up the road. If you know anything about Inland Empire basketball, and you've got Etiwanda, where you can just camp out and get those 3, 4, and 5-star kids. Corona Centennial, you can camp out and try and get those kids. Damien as well. Damien's always got a big high school basketball tournament over Christmas that all the recruiters go to.
Well, I like Rick Croy's philosophy. There he is with recruiting. We spoke to him. A lot of coaches just kind of sell out to the transfer portal, and I think that you have to be involved in the transfer portal. But I like how he's bringing in high school players. I like how he's still trying to bring them in, retain them, develop them, and have them be effective for your program for more than just a year or 2.
Here's Daniels, leading scorer in the WAC, has 20 and another turnover. Ahead it goes to Nelson. Nelson with a blow-by right there.
Just the readjustment. It's so great to see how Utah Valley has perfected the transition offense. They get steals, they get blocks, and they get rebounds, and they go. And they've got guys running the sidelines. And it looks like right now, I mean, you look at California Baptist, they look winded.
Yeah.
So Utah Valley looks fresh out there in the offensive transition.
Johnson, they need this one, and they get it to go down.
A huge 3-point shot. Huge for the Lancers.
Yeah. They were falling behind. They were down 8, and that'll cut the lead to 5 here. They're shooting 43% on threes. Yep, and on the other end, it is Linhart out of Kaysville, Utah, redshirt sophomore.
I mean, their battery looks like it's dying.
Yeah, and the crowd is out of it too. They are really fired up at Star Wars night at halftime. Late start out here, 8 o'clock on the West Coast.
Was that atmosphere not fun?
It was.
I mean, even at halftime, you had little kids playing ball against each other. They're playing Star Wars music. It was, you got Darth Vader hanging out. And
Coleman for Hennig. That's a big bucket right there for the 7-foot freshman from Glendale, Arizona. So got 6 rebounds in 11 minutes as Brady Hennig. Can you step him on the other end? though? Holcomb drives in, and a foul will be called. Randy McCall, John Hampton, Chance Moore are referees in this one. They've called against
Throughout the course of the game, you usually do. You got to go out and execute. And we talked about that at the top of the game. It was this Utah Valley squad is so good about executing, and they're committed to defense on that end of the floor. It has certainly showed here in the second half.
Trying to get the energy back in the building. Here's Holcomb at the free throw line, and that might help. This is the third miss of the night for Utah Valley, who comes in having won 8 straight games, all 5 in the WAC.
The light swords in the background making it hard for the foul shooters. Hey!
They're back in it, Richie, with 7:10 to go. Here we go. It is game on, folks. From Riverside, California, or a galaxy far, far away. Some Angelinos might think that Riverside's a galaxy far, far away, especially if you have to commandeer the 91 most nights, 91 eastbound.
That's right.
Here's Daniels. Daniels with a drive and a block by Holcomb. Oh my goodness, loose ball. The 50-50 ball, the tie-up. Possession arrow sticks with California Baptist. That is a 7th block for Utah Valley, but their first of the second half.
Well, it's good to hear the crowd back into it for the hometown team, and so here they are. This is great. I mean, you've got 3 players on the ground trying to get the ball. I love that. Martell Williams right there with him, gets him the ball back. So I'd like to see them play, inside out here. We've seen Daniels take some efforts down inside.
Yeah.
AJ Braun down inside. Yeah, 2 seconds.
2 to shoot, and Daniels, nope. That's all he could do was catch and shoot it. But that's one of those times where, getting the possession arrow isn't the best thing with 2 to shoot.
Yeah.
Daniels is 9 of 23 now. In 30 minutes, he's got 20 points. Again, he's the WAC leading scorer at almost 21 a game, 11th nationally. 3 in the corner, no good. Rebounded by Musa.
Push it.
That was taken by Hayden Welling. Here's Musa, turns on Noah Tates, and Tates grabs him. Tates is a transfer from Loyola Marymount. Last year played in the West Coast Conference and was an ESPN 4-star recruit where his career started at Stanford. So he played in Palo Alto for the Cardinal. Now the inbound, here's Daniels.
Go inside to him. He'll back you down. Welling's trying to take a charge. That's what they need. They need to play inside out. I do like how Welling is playing straight up, taking the hit on the chest. I think they need to go inside. They have not been great in the half court offensively. I'm talking about California Baptist here in the second half. That's how they can do it. Get some easy shots down inside.
Offensive rebound, Hayden Welling almost came close to stepping out of bounds. He misses, and now we've got a whistle, and it's going to be CBU basketball.
I'm unsure what that call was.
I don't know. It wasn't a shot clock violation.
No, but he
did see anybody step out of bounds. Yeah, but I saw one of the officials.
He talked about resetting the shot clock. Well, they're going to go review, and we are not in a place where we can talk to the officials as we normally do courtside. We're up high, so we can't get clarification here.
And so to be CBU basketball, a 1-possession game here inside of 6 minutes to go.
I'd like to see, I'd like to see him get the ball back inside to Braun. He's been very effective down inside.
Martell Williams might have a say in the finish to this one.
Yeah.
Here's Williams. All right, we're going to have a review in the next break. Williams swiped out, and there's going to be a foul. So in the next break, they're going to look to see if there was basket interference.
I think they called goaltending.
Okay, called it, wiped it off.
Yes.
And now they'll go back to look.
They'll review it.
Yeah. So there could be some points in the bank here, as if we're watching an indoor football league game.
Well, California Baptist is kind of hung around here. Could tie it up here in this possession.
You can put penalties in the bank in the IFL.
Is that right?
Don't ask me how I know.
How do you know?
I might dabble in that on that broadcast stage over the summer. Here's Musa, free throw line jumper is good. Oh, it's a 1-point game.
When I was playing and when I was coaching, I always told my players to drive middle like Musa just did. Get to that elbow, because if you can get past that elbow, you're probably going to get a shot at the basket. You might get fouled, or you can pull up like Musa did.
Son of 5 minutes to go. Utah Valley trying to stay perfect, win a 9th in a row.
Wow.
And count it.
I don't think they're counting it.
No. Nelson got it off. Call up the folks at Deloitte. 65-61.
Did they count it? The referee is saying one shot.
So they did, in fact, count it.
I don't recall what the score was before the shot went up. So
it was a 1-point game at 62-61.
They did count it. Okay.
There's a 4-point play, and so Nelson now has 21. He's the leading scorer in this game. 66-61. And again, they're still going to look at a basket interference play. The next media timeout, which is going to come on a dead ball under 4. Here's Musa, bounce pass to Braun. Braun led the country in field goal shooting last year at Wright State. And he's a strong shooter this year at 54%. Draws contact.
Braun is 4 of 8 from the field. He has 9 points. He's been consistent down inside. I think that's how they can crawl back in the game. They can get him foul shots opportunities. I think he's the most consistent player on the Lancer squad. It's arguable, but he is consistent night in and night out.
Well, here's our featured ESPN2 Big Monday women's matchup. It's number 2 South Carolina traveling to Knoxville to take on number 17 Tennessee at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. And remember, South Carolina women will play against LSU, a game rescheduled because of all the snow there in the South. But the folks in the South, it was in the panhandle of Florida, they had 8.8 inches. It was the most by 5 inches since 1895. So last time they had that, they had 3 inches in 1895.
Sheesh.
That's crazy. All right, 2-possession game. Hayden Welling. 7. And into Potter, and Potter is fouled by Braun and count it.
It's a result of continuing to be active. As a big man, always having your hands ready. Continue to stay active. He rolls to the basket. He has his hands, his fingertips showing. His teammate hits him right in the right place. Just delivered that ball on a silver platter right where he needed it to be.
Ethan Potter a chance at a 3-point play. He averages 8 points almost. 5 boards a game, a junior from Layton, Utah. Leaves a point out there, 68-62. And now we're officially in the break zone. So we'll get that review on the basket interference. And see if the score changes coming out. That was Musa to Braun. That's a foul. That's going to take us to a break. And when we come back, it may not be 68-62. Stay tuned. There's been the call has been confirmed, so there will be no goaltending. So it remains 68-62.
All they had to do was listen to me. Why spend all the time
way
reviewing?
Up here, they can't.
I've got the replay. Our wonderful producer Elle in the background has given us all these different angles.
I really do like this vantage point, to be quite honest with you. A little hard to pick up the Utah Valley numbers, but and that guy with his hand in front of the camera, get that down. 68-63 now after the made free throw by Braun.
Okay, Braun's going to make this free throw. They're immediately going to go into a full court man-to-man. Now, I don't recall seeing them when they go in this full court man-to-man look to trap much. But to get the energy going in the building, I wonder if they'll pick up the pace of the defense just a little bit. Might not be a trap, might just be a little stunt, something to just throw Utah Valley off a little bit.
Braun to the bench, Silverstein back in. Braun sits down with 12 points, 8 rebounds in 25 minutes of work. Here's Toulson bringing it across the timeline. Musa guarding him. A lot of good defenders on the floor. Linhart. No rush, 3:30 to go, 12 to shoot. Linhart around his screen, rolling off of it was Potter. Daniels picked up Linhart. Linhart rolling off the screen is Welling, and he missed the lay-in. Well designed, they just couldn't execute. Now a chance to make it a 1-possession game. Musa around the Coleman screen, drives into traffic. Nearly drove himself into a triple team and a turnover. 3 to go, 11 to shoot. Daniels has it. Daniels 16 first half points, just 4 in the second half on 2 of 8 shooting.
On a move.
Here we go with 3 to go. Musa! Oh, that's a big 3.
Huge. And the crowd's back.
68-67 inside of 3 to go. Musa has 9. He started in Division II, Black Hills. It's his 3rd stop after Tarleton. 2 stops in the WAC. Over the top it goes inside. Potter from Welling. Nelson, and they tie him up out there. But lucky the possession goes on. But there's only 4 to shoot.
Got to shoot it.
And Toulson pulls the trigger, an air ball, and they couldn't save it from going out of bounds. Shot clock violation. Now Musa, this is a big 3.
Yeah, this is what got everybody excited. Shot clock is running down. Musa, who nailed 4 threes at Utah Valley a couple weeks ago. See, with 3 seconds on the shot clock, a hand in his face, he knocks it down, and then they force the turnover. Shot clock violation on the other end. And the emotion from Dom Daniels Jr. fired up. You know, I think it's a relief when you can get a defensive stop. You've been down. Things haven't been going your way. This is looking really good right now for a little bit away from Utah Valley here. California Baptist down the stretch.
That shot clock violation was just the 7th turnover for Utah Valley. They were trying to trap Daniels. They're going to get the steal.
Take advantage.
Linhart leading a 3-on-2 to Toulson, and Toulson can't get it to go down. Offensive rebound, Linhart. Nelson drives, and a body bump and a foul. And he'll go to the line for a couple.
You notice every time Nelson gets fouled on a shot, he looks to bank it. He did that with a 3-point shot, got the 4-point play.
Oh, man.
And he just did it here.
No, he's bleeding. Whatever. Remember, they were putting something in his nose, right, to stop the bleeding.
Yeah.
And from that headbutt earlier in the first half, and now he had to go repatch himself up before he goes to the line here for 2 very big free throws. Musa with his 4th foul. How huge are these going to be for Dominic Nelson, who leads all scorers with 21 in this game? This is the kind of moment that could put you on the all-WAC team at the end of the year.
That is true. All right, so looking towards this next possession, obviously California Baptist can't turn the ball over like they did that last time. But look for Utah Valley to throw in some more of their switching defenses, try to throw you off. And here's going to be a
excellent as well. He's got 13, and here we go.
I like this 2-man game.
And again, for the 2nd straight game, Daniels has not taken a free throw. Here's Williams, missed front iron, the tip. Coleman's got an offensive rebound. He's got a half dozen of those and a foul.
That is quite remarkable from Utah Valley. You look at the statistics throughout the course of the season, Dom Daniels Jr. has taken
112 attempts.
Yeah, more than double any other teammate.
Yeah.
And so clearly he gets to the free throw line a lot. But Utah Valley has took it upon themselves. We don't want to foul him because he gets a lot of points that way. Done a great job keeping him in front. Well, he's gotten away and gotten to the basket some, but they've defended a lot of those well.
Coleman with a big miss there on a 1-and-1. Team fouls are even at 9 apiece. Again, Utah Valley has the possession arrow. Got a D up here if you're CVU. And again, they allow just as many points as they score in a game. 73. Holcomb leaves it for Willing, and he slams it home.
Got to push the ball here if you're California Baptist. So what's the situation here? Official stop play. Well, what a beautiful play here by Utah Valley in that last possession, right? Finishing with that slam at the end. I thought Linhart had a layup right here.
Yeah.
Gave it up. Look at the unselfish play. Leaves Welling wide open for the slam.
And they're going to call Nelson for a foul.
They're going to pick up full court here. Just give them a different look. Take away from their offensive execution. Just take some time off the clock. If they can get a stop here, California Baptist can potentially tie in the next possession.
Got to get it across the timeline, and Toulson does. Plenty of time to shoot. You got a 3-point lead.
And play without fouling. Both teams. That's easy points at the free throw line.
Linhart Daniels picks him up. Goes underneath that screen. Here's Holcomb. Spin move and a block by Silverstein.
2 seconds.
He's got another one. Got to get it off. Did he get it off in time? They say he did.
All right, push. 22 seconds, 23 seconds.
72-69. Shot clock is off. Rick Croy says, let's go.
We don't need a 3 if you're California Baptist. That's what you need. Get to the basket is what Rick Croy's saying.
Yep, and a blocking foul on Utah Valley. Daniels will get a chance for 2 here to pull them within 1.
Yeah, this is obviously you have a great player and a great drive. Fouls called here.
They got Holcomb. He looked like he had a couple feet set.
Yeah, you're probably right. But what I didn't like, though, is they got the stop, and then they brought the ball across half court, and they said, wait, let's set things up. In my opinion, Utah Valley's rushing back on defense. That's when you got to attack. Yeah. The defense isn't set. You're going full speed. Go. Get to the basket. Get to the paint. Get to the rim. See if you can get fouled on the way up for a shot, or just get 2 points and go right to your press. You still have a timeout if you're California Baptist, 2 if you're Utah Valley.
Well, Daniels gets to the line a lot. He makes a lot of shots. Showed you he's above 80%. He's made his first 2. His first 2 came with 59 seconds to go in this game.
79 minutes of play against Utah Valley their last 2 games in this season. He doesn't get to the line until the last minute.
And there's likely to be a 3rd in March at Orleans Arena in Las Vegas. And a big miss.
Still good. Let's assume he makes the shot and make it a 2-point game. You're going to have to go back. Now, I wouldn't be surprised, by the way, if California Baptist didn't burn a timeout, but they probably have their defense set right now. I think they're going to have to look to trap, get a steal. Oh, man.
He missed
You've got a foul at this point.
And a foul, Silverstein. Can you believe that? We got 2 shots coming for Nelson back on the other end. That might have done it.
It's a missed opportunity. You also see Daniels was pretty shaken up. He was on the ground for about a minute, minute and a half. So I'm sure that plays a part as he's limping at half court right now.
Daniels has done some great things. A program record 39-point game against Southern Utah last year. And his average of 19.2 points per game last year was the highest scoring average in program history. And his season ended prematurely at the end of the year with a knee injury. He could not finish the season healthy.
See if Light Swords do the trick again.
And remember, it's the light swords. It's because of licensing issues here, certain licensing agreements.
Right.
It's called the CBU Light Swords today. It's kind of like in the movie Coming to America, how McDowell's skirted McDonald's.
That's right.
They have the golden arches. We have the golden arch. It's kind of what they're doing here.
Okay, if he makes this, they still don't have to have a 3-point shot, but you have to score in a hurry. And you've got to utilize your timeout or your press immediately. Get to the basket. Okay, that's a wide open shot. Take
Here's
it.
Coleman, a big 3. He missed it. Rebounded by Nelson and a foul, and that should just about do it with 6.5 seconds to go. Free throws on the other end. What a second half for Utah Valley. For Nelson, he had 25 points, 17 in the second half, and he might get more here. In that second half, they shot 55%. Utah Valley.
You know one thing I loved? They got that rebound, and then they were fouled. And Utah Valley was sprinting, or at least jogging, down the court. And you can play mental games with your opponents that way. You want to run through the finish line. You're jogging down the court to get to that free throw line to say we're going to close this thing out, win it, and go home with another road victory.
Timeout called. It's going to get charged to.
You never stop taking advantage of opportunities to make your team better.
Nelson to try and put the finishing touches on a terrific second half and game. He missed there. 74-69. Musa misses, rebounded by Welling. Horn sounds. Utah Valley is a perfect 6-0. Still reigning atop the WAC.